Pero.
I'm here with Anthony. If you just not just witness this is the guy that just...
I'm gonna have the homie Capolero on.
Me and the West Side homie
Campolero.
Wow.
Lero, hell yeah.
Doing Tito's, baby. Cheers. Good.
Gotta go check it out, man. That was Campolero.
What's up, Mouse? I see you, my boy.
Oh, you know what? Shout out to Campolito, man. I've been fucking with him, man, lately, man. You know, I knew right away he's solid.
It's hot. It's hot.
Way he's solid. I knew.
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot.
Yeah, I got the video.
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot.
Let's get to it. Now, here's your track.
Bang, bang, bang. The haters are gonna hate anyway. Any day gonna say what they say anyway.
Anthony, if you just not just witness this is the guy.
Radio! Tonight is definitely a late night. What's up, homies? What's cracking, YouTube? Anyways, I'm just sitting here. It's the weekend. It's Monday. You know, they had a, work for half the weekend and drove back home Saturday and had Sunday. Kicked it with old John Diesel. You know what I mean? And it was cool. We had a cool fucking champagne brunch and shit. Him and then my girl and my son. You know what I mean? And it was good. It was a good day. And well, here we are Monday and shit. Just getting back on the grind. But anyways, I have a couple minutes to kill, so I thought, well, fuck it, might as well make a video. Well, I was gonna talk about a troll, but I'm not gonna do that. Fuck that. How about this? I'll just jump right back into the story where I left off. Okay, where I left off was I was in the hole, I believe, at SEG, right? I was at SEG, and I ended up taking. So after having feeling like John Gotti up in that motherfucker, level 2. Ooh. Not really, she was dumb. But I did, I told you, that shit went to my head. My shit was like, pfft. But then once I got with the big dogs, and that shit changed real quick, And so I guess it starts with the bus ride. And so we hop on the bus, all the people, because all the people who were going to Corcoran and shit, Corcoran S.H.U or other prisons or whatever, but I was going to the S.H.U, so I was headed to Corcoran S.H.U. But anyways, we had a handful of people, because there's people on the bus when I got picked up and shit. I was the only one catching the S.H.U from the hole in Avenal, though. Anyway, so we get there, right? And you know how the bus drivers, anybody's been to state, the Grey Goose, them bus drivers are pretty fucking, they're dicks, you know what I mean? Straight fucking, them fools can be hardcore. They'll fuck you up. They don't give a fuck. Well, so we pull up to Corcoran, right? And with the people who are going to S.H.U, the guys who weren't, they got off the bus. And the last ones who were on the bus. And they're being real cool with us. It's a trip. And you see all the cops line up outside. Like everything was cool. And then, so we're all chatting, chatting away, you know what I mean? And then one of the drivers and COs or someone got on that motherfucker, said, all right, guys, fellas, listen up. This is gonna happen. When I call your name, you're gonna walk out, you're gonna turn around, we're gonna uncuff you, take the, we're gonna take your fucking shackles off or whatever. And then you just gotta kind of put your head back like that, and then take a step down, and then we'll walk you off the bus. And we're like, all right, guys, we'll call you guys in a minute. So we went back chit-chatting, right? And they call the first homie, we're all gangsters and we don't give a fuck, right? We're like, whatever. And what happens is they call the first name, whatever the name was, right? And the homie was a homie, and he went, and we watched, and we're like talking, but we're also paying attention to old boy and shit. He turns around, he puts his head up, and then all of a sudden, wham! We're like, what the fuck? They snatch that boy up and they fucking yank him off that motherfucker. I don't know if they body slammed him, some shit to him, and fucking, they started fucking him up, you know what I mean? Manhandling him, sick with it, you know what I mean? Sick with it. This cat, I swear to God, man, and we're like, fuck, and they're ripping him apart and shit, the pieces and shit. This dude's like, ah, you know what I mean? Talk about he's about to cry and shit. Next you know, they call another name, and then by the time they got to me, the homies we're all quiet. The whole bus was quiet, and they're like it's, and then they're like, my name, you know what I mean? And I'm going to like, stay strong, dog. Stay strong, mouse. Because sure enough, I turn around, they give me this wham, and they're talking shit in my ear. And ripping my mouth apart and shit. One's got his hand in my mouth, yanking this way, another thing. They got pulling my head back, and they're fucking kicking the shit out my shins, and they have my hands, they're all like twisted up, and shit. I was all fucked up. And then they go and they slam me against the wall, and bruises on my fucking chin, and then they fucking go to slam me to the ground, pick me up and slam me back against the wall. I'm like, oh my God, you know? And then they put the cuffs on so fucking tight, and they gave me a bedroll. Say, if you drop that bedroll, fucking this whole fucking line is going down. I was like, what the fuck? And I ended up I had no feeling in my fucking palm of my hand for like 6 months. It was fucked up. They kind of fucked. I had bruises on my chin, on my cheeks. My lips felt like they were ripped apart. It was fucking crazy. Anyways, I had bruised all over my shins and my legs. I was like, what the fuck just happened, you know? And so that was welcome to fucking Corcoran S.H.U back then. Okay, Corcoran back then, if anybody has seen the movie Felon, it's about some white boy, but watch, if you haven't, watch it. Now, of course it's a movie, so it's exaggerated or it's different, but it was based on that time, basically, because they had a lawsuit and all that shit about what they used to do. It was crazy back then. I was in 484 left, and what they used to do is they would gamble when we go to yard, and they'd have like homies out there with norteños or whatever, and they would be gambling on us and shit, just like good fight, you can't fight, whatever, you know what I mean, that kind of shit. And so that was an experience, you know what I mean. And so I've already told this story about the dumbest celly I've ever had. That's Humpy, fucking retard. Anyways, fucking this guy, you know. But anyways, well, I think I mentioned this, but will they put me first before I ended up with this motherfucking weirdo and shit, or crazy guy? I don't call him weirdo, but this dude. First they had no room in that section where the regular homies were. The only room they had, and where I was at was, Manson was there, by the way, but they put me in it was like B section, but that whole section was legends of every faction, you know what I mean? Nothing but, though, you know what I mean? And then they had an open source, they threw me in there, and that's when I got to meet my first legends, you know what I mean? Or I had that one weirdo, or not weirdo, excuse me, that one goofball celly of mine, would call them piranhas. Fuck this guy, you know what I mean? But anyways, that's when I met, you know, P from the West Side 18 kind of, and the other legend, and the other legend, and the other legend, and you know what I mean? And you know, we'll just say whoever, you know what I mean? It doesn't even matter. But my neighbors were legends of our faction, and then there was like 4 of them there. It's the first time. Well, what happened is, the funny thing is, I was all like, when I got there, I went straight to sleep. I got in the cell, and I was all like beat the fuck up and shit. And I just like lay down and they're not bunks, they're side by side, left and right, slabs of concrete, you know what I mean? Then for the S.H.U. And well, so I just lay down by myself, whatever. I lay down and I just crash out. When I wake up to the homie. Well, technically it's the big homie. That was my neighbor. He's banging on the wall. I was like, hey, youngster, what's up? Like, you all right over there? You alive? And I'm like, oh yeah, my bad, Spencer. You know what I mean? So what they call it? Call me Mouse. What's up, or whatever. Right? So we start talking, and damn, the fucking sunlight in my face. It's just crazy. But anyways, we start talking. I'm meeting all the Pilis that were there, right? And so, but I didn't know. I thought there's regular homies, right? I never met one before, and so I thought they were regular homies. So I was sort of clowning with these fools, right? And we were going back and forth, and just, you know, and they're laughing at me when I told my little experience. They go, how'd that feel? You have fun? And I'm like, man, this was fucked up, you know, off the bus, you know. And then next thing you know, fucking lights go out, and the homie next door, Pete, he said, hey, shoot a line. And I was like, oh shit, like let me make one real quick. Usually it's the first thing you do, but I didn't. It wasn't the first thing I did. I went to sleep, you know what I mean? And so I made one real quick, and I shot the line, and they fished it in, or he fished it in, and then he said, all right, fucking holla, you know? So I fished it back in, and I read it. It's a little wheat lock. And I opened that motherfucker up, and when I opened it up, I said. The first words on it were, "We are Emmett," straight up. And I was like, whoa! My heart started beating. I was like, what the fuck? They're for real. They do exist. And I was fucking freaking out. And shit, like, that's crazy. You know? So we are so-and-so. We are your bosses. You know, we are the masters of the masters. You know what I mean? And I read that, man, I was like, and then they the saludas and blah blah blah, you know what I mean? And then they wanted to know who I was and why I was there, you know what I mean? And so I was like, fuck, I wrote him this long ass 13-page wheela and shit, because I didn't want to get caught up, because what if it was a bad pegada, you know what I mean? And it could have been. So what I did was I wrote fucking, I crossed all my T's, dotted all my I's. I named every fucking name in the world that was involved as far as the call that was made, and who the dude was, and who made the call, and what it was about, where it happened, you know what I mean? And so I sent it next door, and the homie, you know, big homie, he read it, and he said, orale, and then he sent it to the next one, and then he sent it to the next one, and then after they all read it, they had a conversation a little bit real quick about it. Hey, did you know that? Oh, one of them said, no, I don't know, not sure, but the other three were like, yeah, I know I know that name, you know what I mean? I know blah, 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 right? And then I was sitting there like heart beating and shit, you know what I mean? Just like, fuck, you know, because it could have been bad, you know what I mean? I could have been set up for a failure, you never know, you know what I mean? And especially from a level 2, like, you don't know who to trust, but there were some good, solid homies there. I mean, those clantones at least. I mean, there was good homies there, but I'm thankful that they didn't lead me the wrong way, you know what I mean? Because they could have set me up for failure and shit, but they didn't. And then it came back to like, yeah, I know about whoop. And then I got word back, and they're like feeding me. Good job, you know what I mean? And what the fuck you doing? You're a youngster, like, you're here with us. What the hell, right? And after that, I knew. So then it went back to business as usual. They started like clowning with me and shit, and I didn't clown back no more. I was like, just quiet and shit. And they're like, "What, Mouse, you catching a complejo over there or what?" They said, and I'm like, no, it's a good one, and then fuck, like, and then I warmed up again, you know what I mean? And I went back to being playful. I just kind of chose my level of playfulness and clowning. I just brought it down some, you know what I mean? Just out of respect and shit. But they were just trying to just fuck around, just having fun. So we just talking shit. And the neighbor you know, P, he was like, "Hey, Mouse," because I want you to sell up with me. And I was like, nah. Like he's like, why? I want to get validated. You know what I mean? And that's a guaranteed validation, right? And I was like, I want to go fucking hit the main line again, go like stab some more people. Anyways, and he's like, oh man, he goes, no, you come sell up with me, fucking, you're guaranteed to go home. He's like, I only got 4 years and a half, and blah blah blah, and I'll leave everything, leave my TV, everything, dog, and you get the best fucking schooling you could get. A part of me regrets not doing it. I didn't do it, and I'm like, oh yeah, but you know. And then I was there on like a 2-month layover or something. It was like 3 months, maybe 3-month layover. Because I was there a lot. It seemed like quite some fucking time. But it was like, it's until I went to Pelican Bay. And they knew that. And he was waiting to go up to the bay himself. So I guess I didn't know at the time that you could pick your celly on the bus in Pelican Bay. So when you get there, so he goes, check it out. I said, look, you're going to the bay, I'm going to be going to the bay. I said, if we're on the same bus, we'll be cellies. That's my fucking palala right there, you know? Palabra, you know? And he's like, orale. He goes, all right then. Because we're going to be on that same bus. I'm like, oh, fuck, he's just way too sure of himself. But anyways, fucking cool as fuck, you know what I mean? Cool as fuck. I mean, good, obviously, solid gente, of course, you know what I mean? But But another reason I told him that he was laughed because that dude would wake up in the morning, he's a machine. I mean, I just hear him, he'd be 3 a.m. busting down burpees. And then 5 hours later, I'd be like, hey, what's up? We're like wanting to bullshit with them, play some chess or something. Because you can play chess from cell to cell. The ones who don't know, you just number your board 1 through 64. And you know, like I got his pieces, my pieces, and vice versa. He's got mine. So I'll be like 12 to 28, and he's like 13 to 26, or whatever the numbers would be, you know? And so we just do whatever, you know what I mean? Or we just bullshit. And but it was like, there's never really time because I called him and he'd be busting down, working 5 hours later, he'd still be busting down. I'd be like, that's crazy as fuck. I used to work out and it wasn't mandatory back then. We just, like I said before, supposed to lead by example. I just knew better. I just automatically fucking worked out because that's what you do, you know what I mean? But not because I was told to, it's because I knew. You know what I mean? That's what fucking soldiers do. You know what I mean? And it's all about the mind and the physical. You gotta keep your mind strong, your body strong, and just handle yours, you know? Well, so we talked about it, like if we're on the same bus or we run into each other up there that we're gonna sell up. He said, all right, cool. I said, cool, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'll do that. That's pretty dope. You know what I mean? I fuck yeah. But and needless to say, what am I missing now? Because there's some Corcoran stories, but I'm trying to think. I guess, let me see here. I'm trying to work my way to my next big out on this one. I don't know, but I do know. Oh, no, what I wanted to mention. I'm just curious. I'm gonna throw his name out there. It's just kind of random. I don't even know if they pay attention. But I had told a story about, one of the times when I got caught slipping with my clothes off or whatever, fucking, and the homie Alacran fucking ended up being my celly. Well, I had mentioned that when I had no celly in the Bay at one point because my celly had just went to court, and or I don't know where he went. To tell you the truth, he went somewhere. But he went somewhere. I don't know what the fuck he went or where. But and I was waiting. I was supposed to get Weddle Rocks. That guy. They asked me if I'd be cool with him being my celly, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like I'm okay with that. And then, but it didn't happen because Alacran came in the middle of the night, whatever. And I told her I had a video on that. And I jumped up and anyways, fucking, if you see him there, it's kind of a funny story. When I didn't have a celly, who my celly was, who left, was, and this is for you, if you're watching, I don't know, but Lucky, you know, Lucky from Hood Stocks, shout out to you, to all the fellas, to everybody, but it was, I don't know, hopefully he's in good standings, but one of your homeboys, his name is Sparky from Highland Park. He's a white boy. He would be, he'd be my age. He'd be like 52 years old down there. And crazy ass white boy. I know his real name. I'm not gonna put it. His name's Robert. His last name, starts with O. I'll just leave it like that. That was my celly. He was cool as fuck. He was kind of crazy. He had in Chino. He had, he got a CO. You know what I mean? And got roughed up from now on. Maybe that's why he's going to court. I'm not sure. But he used to have it bad because everywhere he went, the cops would fucking fuck him up or whatever because of that one incident on a CO in Chino. But I don't know whatever happened to him. I don't know if he's in good standings or bad. I hope he's still alive and I hope he's all good. But if he's around or if anybody heard of him, like, hey, let him know, man. Mouse fucking, that was my celly for a minute. And then when he left, that was whatever. That was in the Bay. That was that was in the Bay. And so, yeah, fuck it. I figure, hey, this is like, it's better than going through Facebook, right? Fuck, I'll just throw that shit out there. And if anybody's watching it, it's Lucky from Hillside. It's one of your homeboys. You know what I mean? Sparky, Highland Park. And shout out, whatever. But it'd be cool. I would like to know if he's doing good or not, or if somehow he could come back, you know what I mean, get a good word, like something, hopefully he's positive, you know what I mean? But either way, let me change back that. So, back to Corcoran. Eventually, I ended up, they had a cell open, or whatever, not a cell, but yeah, a bed space open, and that's when I know about that dude, Humpy, from fucking whatever, died at the goofball, and that was like, that's one of the other starts of my little Corcoran, like, stay. From there, okay, this is what I'm speeding past shit, because someone asked about a payada on the level 4s, whatever. I catch a bus later, just speeding past it, up to Pelican Bay. Boom. So I'm in Pelican Bay. I pick my cellie on the bus, and they're all lined up out there. They're lined up with doing their hands shit, like if they're, you know what I mean, like ready to, like, stretching their fingers, like ready to fuck us up, right? And I was like, oh man, here we go again, fucking traumatized from the Corcoran one, you know? And I'm like, fuck. And then sure enough, they came out, okay, if anybody on the bus, you want to fucking pick your cellie, pick them now. And I picked my cellie, and that was it. We get off the bus, they're all super respectful and shit, cool and shit, like, it was all good, you know what I mean? And I was like, wow, because that place is a whole different fucking animal right there, you know what I mean? That place is quiet, and it respectful, and yeah, it was just different, you know what I mean? And I could go into that on the next one, but now I'm just kind of speeding through. But later, I'm gonna bounce around the little things that happen everywhere, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to get to, like, the main points and shit. And so yeah, so basically this video was about a whole lot of nothing, you know, a whole lot of nothing. But shout out to everybody, much love and respect. So I ended up in a cell in Pelican Bay, and they're doing my rest of my shoe, whatever, and till I end up, and I'll talk about that, end up on the BR on the next one, you know what I mean? And you know what's fucking crazy is I already told the story too. That's the one I just told. So if the homie who mentioned, hey, tell me about Bayada on the 4-yard, that's the one I just told when I'm dressed in all beige, and it's called, I don't know, Pelican Bay hit gone wrong or something like that, I don't remember. But anyways, with that, and without further ado, I'm gonna cut this one short for the first time. It's only 21 minutes, and I'm gonna throw a song on there that my lady don't like, but a couple of the homies heard got a partial taste of it. So this is no, like, disrespect towards my girl. This is just, I'm gonna put 2 songs though, because it's the same song, different beat at the end, my songs, but they're just for any homies going through it or bumping heads with their lady, or they're going through something. Hey, you might like it. So I'm gonna put them on there, and like I said, without further ado, much love and respect. Keep it solid, free the solid. You know, King Cash said that, and I'm going with that. Hey, shout out to Lefty Gunplay. Hey, congratulations, my boy, on your on the Grammys. That's fucking dope. And beyond that, everybody, you know what time it is. Fucking as I said before, radio. Tonight is definitely a late night. Dale gas.
Reppin' the hood, strapped up, feeling good. Talking about them days, gangsta ways. Black ragging, creased up and sagging. Don't sweat a bitch, they all the same. Click, click, bang, bang. Fuck you in that lane. Now I'm out, foul is what you're about. You fucking slut, shut the fuck up. Respect is what you earn, you'll never learn. I don't love you anymore. I'm a gangsta, you're a whore. Lace up my shoes, walk out that door. I don't love you anymore. Tick tock, watchful hands on the clock. My new girl loving my, I'm done with you bitch, we're fucking through. I thought you knew, tick tick tock, click click bang. Things are not the same, watch me win again and again. I don't need you, bitch, you can have him. Another wasted day with you would be a sin. I'm a master at the game, A motherfucking G, don't have time to waste on these hoes. Didn't take long to get you out them clothes. Superficial bitch, watch me win again and again. Game over, over. Again and again, tick, tick, tock. There's a door, take a walk. Click, click, bang, bang, fuck you in that lane. Respect is what you earn, you'll never learn. I don't love you anymore, I'm a gangster, you're a whore.
Reppin' the hood, strapped up, feeling good. Talking about them days, gangster ways. Black rag increased up and sagging. Don't sweat a bitch, they all the same. Click, click, bang, bang, fuck you in that lane. Now I'm out, foul is what you bout. You fucking slut, shut the fuck up. Respect is what you earn, you'll never learn. I don't love you anymore, I'm a gangster, you're a whore. Lace up my shoes, walk out that door. I don't love you anymore. Tick tock, watchful hands on the clock. My new girl loving my. I'm done with you, bitch, we're fucking through. I thought you knew. Tick, tick tock. Click, click, bang, things are not the same. Watch me win again and again. I don't need you, bitch. You can have him. Another wasted day with you would be a sin. I'm a master at the game of motherfucking G. Don't have time to waste on these hoes. Didn't take long to get you out them clothes. Superficial bitch, watch me win none again. Game over again and again. Tick, tick, tock, there's a door, take a walk. Click, click, bang, bang, fuck you in that lane. Respect is what you earn, you'll never learn. I don't love you anymore, I'm a gangster, you're a whore.